Today we have a short message from Ascended Master Kuthumi. After you hear it, I'll come back at the end to give you a little bit more information that I know he wants to share. So last time I posted from him, I mentioned about glamour, and I want to explain a little bit more about that. So when I use the word glamour, you don't want to think about it like Hollywood glitterati. Instead, think about it like a magician's trick. Specifically, it means the quality of fascinating, alluring, or attracting. And in the case of the Ascended Masters, they talk about this idea of glamour as something that oppresses humanity and deflects from the light of truth. So glamour is an emotional concept, and it's created when someone becomes a victim of their own strong, self-created thought forms based on egotistical ideas. But when you connect instead to the field of oneness and all love, you have the power to lift and enlighten the world's condition. So keep that in mind as you listen to Kuthumi's message, and I'll return after. The world is at your feet. You are the kings and queens of the world. From the most base experiences to the most highly evolved persons, you are the leaders of the world. Your society was created not only from belief systems, but from various external support systems in the cosmos. From light-filled and benevolent to misguided and malevolent, these beings sought to manipulate and inform your life experiences. Hidden from this truth, you, meaning your ancestors, succumbed to pressurized suggestions. And now, here we are. But you can prevail, and you do so by reclaiming and revering your sovereignty. Sovereignty is the truth that resides in your cells. It is your connection with your inner knowing and creativity that holds the strongest impulse for you. Even amidst extreme conflict and contrast, you can maintain this connection and allow it to govern all thought, word, and action. Contrast and conflict have been embedded into the earthly experience as the polarity required to allow you to make sovereign decisions. You see, it's all a setup, part of the game. Holding on to your fear of what you see happening outside of you, therefore mirroring the external on the internal, perpetuates all cycles. Even at mankind's worst, experiences can be rectified with a joint effort of protesting via inner peace. I recognize how simplistic this sounds, and sometimes how cold-hearted it sounds. But for truth, it has never been tried. Spiritual mastery is the ability to live in the world, but not of it. You have heard that before, yes? We cannot emphasize enough your ability to overcome the fear that is present in the world and that is amplified through your media in order to manipulate your mind. It is amplified through greed, anger, and hatred, and then it is repeated over and over again. It is a self-perpetuating cycle based on those who have assumed control of your world, and you can say no to all of this through the discipline of your mind. Welcome back. Here's what I understand about this teaching. It goes back to the fact that everything in this world has been created through a field of love. And I know that there are days when it's almost impossible to feel this. Trust me, I have those days too. But from my various spiritual and meditation practices, I have experienced this field of love as being infinite in size and scope and time. And when I am sitting in this field, I see that every single thing in the world is held within this container. All the human emotions and misdeeds and disease, along with everything fantastic and beautiful and good. And what the Ascended Masters are teaching us is that we can either focus on what's painful, or we can focus on this vast, infinite field through which all is created, and within which all is perfectly fine from a place of neutral love. So let me be specific, because neutral love may be confusing, but what it is the feeling of perfect safety, in which everything is allowed to exist so that we can play within this contrast. So, what the Ascended Masters are teaching us again is that we can overcome all of the negativity by allowing ourselves to believe in and then sit within this field of safety and love. And I was really drawn to his statement that the majority of the people on this planet have not done this yet. Because I just want to say that I know there have been plenty of spiritual leaders and meditators who already do this. But what the Ascended Masters are asking is that more of us join in on this kind of practice. So when I get very discouraged by things that are happening on the planet, my guides remind me that as much as I have lived many, many lifetimes and experienced many different things on the full spectrum of life, from the most horrific lives to the most joyful and wondrous lives, every other soul on this planet is doing the same. And that when I focus on what my life really is, it's far easier for me to find those moments of love and safety than it is if I'm worrying about people on the planet that I don't know, things I'm not experiencing, and situations that I'm not living. So I want to be really clear again that this is not spiritual bypass. This is not about pretending that things are not happening, and it's not about lacking empathy. It's truly about understanding the complex multidimensionality that we're living in. That this is a creation of our own, and that we can come back to this sovereignty, which is our power as creators of this experience. So we live in the question of, do we want to be sovereign creators in a world in which we're afraid and upset? Or do we want to be sovereign creators in a world in which we know we can reclaim our power? And that's a daily choice. So I have been asking the guides to offer more tools for us. On this channel, what I have so far are some guided meditations and some energy healings, and they're in their own playlists. And then I have a lot of guided meditations on my website, and here's a link to that. Plus, I'm including in the description of this video an invocation to the yellow ray, which you can use to connect to this Ascended Master energy every day. So please find something that will help you to reclaim your groundedness in safety. And if you feel you need more private attention, reach out to me for a session. I do believe that as we do this, we are the salvation of the planet. So please join me.